Today a package arrived, and you know what that means? That means it's time for a 12 volt review. Not really 12 volts, these ones run on 120 volts, but you get the idea. Let's check this out. Let's see what arrived today. What is our official box opening going to reveal for us today? It's LED light bulb, 6-pack, the Luxon brand. These are 4 watt and 400 lumen, 2700 warm white. They're an amber colored light. They are dimmable. They're LED. Again, a filament style bulb. So we're going to take a look at these bulbs. I'm going to take them in and put them into my fixture with some dimmers, and we'll try them on a couple different light fixtures. So here's the tips on the side. It says try to avoid touching the surface of the lamp. It's not that it's going to hurt it, it's just you're going to get your fingerprints on it. These glass bulbs tend to be rather fragile because there's no vacuum or anything on an LED bulb, so they don't have to be very thick glass. So all of these ones are actually quite easy to break, so the glass is pretty thin. It's more just to protect the filament than anything else. But it says if you got a damaged one, don't hesitate, we'll send you a new bulb. And here's our specifications. So based on 3 hours a day of use, 11 cents per kilowatt hour, it looks like they say it's going to cost about 48 cents a year, and that the bulb should last 27.4 years. Yeah, good luck with that. They are 4 watts, and 4 watt bulbs typically would be equivalent to about a 40 watt bulb. And here's they say 20,000 hours. 400 lumens is the output of these, and 2700 Kelvin. Here's the rest of the specifications. We'll go from 0 to 100% with all dimmers. And it says uses isolated constant current power source without flicker or harm to your eyes. Let's open the pack and take a look at what we've got in here. Zoom the camera back a bit so you guys can see. Dear customer, spared no expense. Even got a little welcome card in here. It says for you. What's in the package here? This is your LED warranty, it looks like. As I say, they are sold through Amazon, so if you've got a problem with them, Amazon's going to take care of you anyway. But here are the bulbs themselves. They come in individual little packages. Here are the bulbs. Open this up. I'm going to go grab my my test fixture, and we'll put them in place. They're glass. You can hear they're glass. And these ones have got, as you can see, they've got the yellow coating on them, so they're going to look more like an antique bulb. Let me grab a fixture and we'll hook this up and we'll see how it looks. And there's the light from it. We'll turn the power down and see how well it dims. They go right down to nothing. I'll kill some of the other lights in there. We'll take a look at this without other lights, and then we'll measure the actual light output from the unit. So if I turn the lights right out completely, as you can see, as I bring my dimmer up, so they dim completely down to 0. So for our light level test, I'm going to test from my bench at a distance of 12 inches or 1 foot. That way we can measure the actual lumens onto my phone. I have a light meter on my phone. So I'm just going to set up for that, and we'll measure the actual light output from one bulb with everything else in the shop turned off. So here's my Lumen display, or Lux display, I guess, LX. We can probably change this to foot candles too, I think, if I tap this thing or tap setup. Yeah, we're in Lux. So we can look at this in foot candles as well and see what the foot candle reading is. So 40 foot candles is what the light is putting out at 1 foot. They're claiming here on the package, they're saying, what is it? They're saying 400 lumens. So we'll go back to the lumens reading here, and it's a little bit higher than what they are claiming, but that's also because they're saying lumens. This is actually lux, which is a measurement of light. So 439 lux is what we are measuring. So they're measuring theirs in lumens, but 439 lux. Now, like other LED lights of this filament type design, the light is not, it's not even like a frosted bulb would be. Just like a filament bulb, as in an incandescent filament, there will be hotter spots than others. If I rotate the lamp, you will see. You see the darker bands, which this is a characteristic that all filament type bulbs, even a halogen or an incandescent bulb, will do exactly the same thing. And the reason for that is because there's structures inside. There's the wiring inside which will cause shadows, even on a hot filament. So all types of lights you'll get a little bit. And these type of LED filament bulbs are no different. I think they do look authentic. It looks fantastic. I'm going to take it in the house and we'll do some shooting inside the house. I'll put it in my light fixture over my table. I'll put all 6 of them in there and we'll take a look at how these ones look. But on my preliminary dimmer, it dims absolutely perfectly. As you can see, as I dim it down, it's completely linear, right down to nothing. So I've got the lamps now on a Luxon electronic dimmer, and as you can see, they dim right down to nothing. I've got the camera iris down just a little bit here so that the lights themselves don't appear too bright, and I've got the iris fixed so the camera is not adjusting its exposure as I change the light label. That's why it's going right out to nothing. Next shot I'll have the camera in auto exposure so that you can see the difference. In this next shot, the 3 lights on the left are authentic 60 watt incandescent Edison type bulbs. And as they dim down, they don't even go out completely. When I turn the dimmer down all the way, they still glow a bit. But you can see that the LED lights actually track quite nicely. They don't warm up quite like a real incandescent bulb does, but as far as light levels, they give off a very, very similar light level. Here's the same shot now, camera in auto expose mode, so the iris will open on the camera as the lights dim out, as opposed to fixed. Level-wise, they look pretty much the same, and at full brightness, the color temperature is very close between the incandescent and the LED. They look about. Now, when you compare the LED to incandescent bulbs, well, the incandescent bulbs have been running for a few minutes here, and they're actually to the point where they're quite hot. The LEDs themselves, cool to the touch. They don't produce any heat. Back in the shop, we're just going to have a look at the base here. I'm not going to break one of these open or anything because I'm going to actually use these lights on a long-term test. But we can take a look down at the inverter and the base. You'll notice that the lead-in wires themselves actually have heat shrink tubing around them to prevent any short circuits. And you can see the electronics down in the base look to be fairly well made. A couple of chip components in there. Just going to screw the light in. We're going to run a few more tests on it. We'll get a close-up of the filament itself. Here's a close-up of the filament. Looks to be well made. The welds there look to be good. From just looking at it, looks to be well made. Yes, the coating on the glass, this is why they tell you not to touch it, because it is, I guess, like a lacquer coating on the glass, and it will scratch. So that's why they tell you don't handle the bulbs. If you're going to install these here and you want them to look good, maybe it's better to wear some, some cotton gloves or something, just so you don't get any fingerprints and scratches on it, because they will show up. Although if it's installed in a light fixture, you're never going to see it anyway unless you're really looking at it. But you can see the individual LEDs inside the filaments there. Very nice little light, basic light. Gives off about the equivalent to a 60-watt Edison type incandescent bulb. They're both in about the same rating. Conventional bulb would be about the same as a 40-watt of the conventional style, but the Edison old-fashioned incandescent 60-watt bulbs typically run a lot cooler and they don't give off quite as much light, but on par with the output from my incandescent lights that I was using to compare to. So here's another look at them compared to the last batch of Edison type bulbs. These are installed in a vanity fixture, and as you can see, the coated glass just gives you a more warmer look to the light. The other lights, although they look nice, they look a little too cool for the look. Here they are dimming down. As you can see, they dim down very nicely. So these 4 bulbs here, I'm going to take out the 2 on the left. I'm going to replace it with all of the new ones that have got the yellow coating on them. I just think they look a lot better, and these are going to be going into a long-term test here in my vanity fixture. There's all 4 of them now. As you can see, they look great. They look just like a classic bulb, and they have the same type of color as an incandescent bulb, which is important. So there's how they're going to look. And I'm going to run them in here for the next several years, and we'll see how these ones perform. Anyway, that's it. Look at the Luxon Edison style filament bulb, available from Amazon. The link is in the description. Thanks for watching, and we will catch you again in the next one real soon. Bye for now.